What's going on, everybody? Haven't been able to fish lately between Sally coming through, kind of messing up the water, and just other things, dental appointments, and other things going on with work. Haven't been able to get out and fish, so finally had a day off with a dentist appointment today, and after that, I've got plenty of time this afternoon. I've actually got a couple of rods that I've been meaning to rebuild for a friend of mine, and since I got time today, it's a little something I do on the side whenever I can't fish. Got my workbench here. Kind of dirty. First time I've used it in months. But gonna do a little work, gonna start stripping the rods here, and just kind of give you a little preview of what I do. So you guys check it out. Alright, so starting in on this project, you can see here, this is a Pin Squadron 2 rod. These are like $35 rods. The blanks themselves, the rods are awesome, but typical Pin issue with rods is the guides are real crappy. And like this one here, you can see the ring popped out, it broke. It's a typical problem with these rods. I really believe if you do a lot of fishing, it's actually something you should probably know on how to replace guides on rods, even if you don't do it for a living or whatever. At least being able to repair your own rods is a nice little skill to know. So we're going to start off. The guides I'm actually going to replace this with are concept layouts. So there's actually going to be more guides than what originally came on this. So I'm actually going to strip all of the guides off of this blank and sand down all the finish off of it to install the new guides and completely refinish the blank. So take you through all this process. All right, so we got all the old guides stripped off. It's actually a good thing we're replacing guides, because as I was pulling all these other ones off, one of the other inserts that was still in there popped off. I will be saving these just because I personally have one of these rods, and in case I need to make a quick guide replacement, I'll have some on hand. You can see where the old guides were. Took the tip off as well, had a little trouble, gonna have to sand that down a little bit, cut off the tip because it did not want to come off the tip, lost probably about an inch of the tip, which is fine. So now I'm going to sand all this finish off the blank, start with probably about 100 grit to get the coarse stuff off, and then go up to 500 grit to get a really nice finish on it. And then we will start laying out the new guides and rewrapping it. Alright, so I got it all sanded down. Ended up doing down to 1,000 grit to get a nice finish on this. So the blank is now stripped down and ready to wrap the new guides on. I've got to get the spacing and everything laid out. Luckily, the guide kits that come from Mudhole come with some awesome spacing guides already printed out on a table, and so it makes it easier. I'll just have to put them in that spacing and then double check it before I wrap them on to make sure that the arc of the line will be good for the concept guides. Like I said, I've got actually a second rod to rebuild for him as well, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same process again on it, on stripping off the guides and refinishing the blank. So I've got the second rod finished up here. And now I'm working on my guide spacing. As you can see with these kits, the spinning guide kit, the Elite series from CRB, there's actually spacing for these rods already laid out. This rod was actually had about 3 inches of the tip missing off the top. So it's 7'3". So I kind of had to eyeball some stuff as far as marking out where I'm going to lay out the guides. See, I've got my tape measure against it here. Little white marks ticked along where each of the guides will be on here. Like I said, I kind of eyeballed it, kind of going in between what it said for 7 foot and a 7'6" rod. So I'm going to temporarily attach all the guides on these spacings, and then I will run some line through it. I'll put a reel on the rod, run some line through the guides, and take the tip and pull it down, create a curve in the rod, and see how the line lays against the blank, doing that before I fully put these guides on. Alright, so I've got all of the guides now attached to the blank, using either, for the bigger ones, I use just some thin diameter, thin width masking tape. For these smaller guides, and especially whenever I attach them on, CRB makes this great product here. These are just little silicone bands that go around the foot of the guide and around the blank, where I can adjust it. They're a lot easier to work with and hold down a lot better whenever the masking tape doesn't work. That's the only issue with using these concept guide layouts, is it's basically micro guides for the top half of the rod, and they're really small and really hard to work with. But we have those on there now. Just have a temporary tip so I can run some line through these guides and see how it lays on the blank. I have this set up. It's basically a tool to help check for the spine of the blank, but it also helps lay out the guides, or helps me test the line, because I can put the rod through there and check the arc. So I've already checked, and everything, spacing that I already have laid out actually looks like it's going to work. As you can see, line, you want it to follow the blank really well, and it looks like it's doing just that. It doesn't look like, it looks like everything's kind of evenly spaced. There's no looks like any kind of stress spots. And the guides will actually be a lot better. They're a little loose right now, having just the bands on it. Once everything's set, it'll be even better. So I think we're going to be good. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Putting in a little time on the rods today. It's hot out here. Don't have any AC in my little workroom / our utility room. So it's getting hot this afternoon. Plus I have some other stuff I need to take care of now. We'll start back up another day, and I'll have another video for that. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like all the videos. Thank you.